The Battle of Peleliu would be one of the bloodiest battles fought during World War II in the Pacific. The ferocity of the fighting would have some American units with 60+% casualties, and almost every Japanese defender on the island was killed. There are many books that discuss the fighting here in Peleliu, but until you walk the ground, it is difficult to understand. Peleliu is one of the best preserved World War II battlefields, and today we're going to start a series of Peleliu Battlefield walks. This series will bring you to the locations here on Peleliu that you have read about and researched. Peleliu Battlefield Tour. The landings on Peleliu began on September 15, 1944, shortly after 8:30 in the morning. The Marines would land on White Beach 1 and 2, Orange Beach 1, 2, and 3. The Marines were all from the 1st Marine Division, but they were known by their regiments, the 1st, 5th, and 7th Marines. Immediately, they met stiff resistance from the Japanese. Barbed wire, mines, tank traps, and other obstacles slowed the Marines from getting off the beaches. Not only obstacles, but the Japanese defenders had set up fighting positions and bunkers that were able to put the beaches under a deadly crossfire. Let's start by taking a walk around the area of White Beach 1 and 2. On these beaches, the men of the 1st Marine Regiment made their landings. Colonel Louis Chesty Puller would land at White Beach 1, and a young Robert Leckie, who documented his experiences on Peleliu in a book titled Helmet for My Pillow, would land on White Beach 2. On the north end of White Beach 1 is an area known as the Point. Captain George Hunt and K Company would assault this position. During their approach and landings at White Beach 1, Company K would have most of their weapons and supplies destroyed. These men would attack the point, knocking out a 47mm anti-boat and anti-tank gun located in a bunker that had enfilading fire down the beach toward White Beach 2. During K-31's attack on the point, they would be cut off from the Marines on the beaches, spending the next 30 hours fending off Japanese counterattacks. This is the area of the point. Near the bunker is a memorial plaque to Captain Hunt and the men of K-31. Standing here, you get a full view of what the Japanese were seeing during the landings and the difficulty that the Marines faced as they attacked this area. Not only was there a bunker at the point, but there were many fighting positions here at White Beach 1. Here's another bunker near the shore of White Beach 1. As you head inland from the beach, you will find more bunkers and a ridge that you hear many veterans of the battle talk about. As you make your way inland, one thing I noticed was that the terrain went from hard coral to sand. This could possibly be the area of the tank trap just off of White Beach 1. Walking down the beach from White Beach 1 towards White Beach 2, it becomes very clear how big the area the 1st Marine Regiment was covering. Photos of the battle show many damaged LVTs and what is known as ducks all around the beach area. On the beach, there are many pieces of these destroyed vehicles. Could these parts be part of the remains of the duck burning on White Beach during the battle? At the south end of White Beach 2, you reach what is known as the Promontory. This area was heavily defended by the Japanese. A system of fighting positions, a bunker that was enfilading the beach looking north, a cave, and a tank trap kept the Marines pinned near the beach. The Marines would push forward in a frontal attack and capture this area, and then push forward towards the runways of the airfield. This is the promontory as it looks today. The bunker behind the promontory was well protected from naval bombardment, and until the Marines captured it, the Japanese kept up a continuous fire along the beaches. The cave next to the bunker goes deep into the promontory, and many Japanese troops were protected from the initial bombardment by staying inside this cave. All around the area, it is easy to find ammunition and grenades scattered on the ground. On the first day of the battle, Marines from White Beach 2 reached an area at the edge of the airfield. Late in the day, the Japanese counterattacked, and with the use of tanks, attacked near the area of White Beach 2. Many people believe that the attack was stopped on the airfield, but in fact the tanks crashed into the Marine lines, with one Japanese tank making it almost to the shoreline. Some Marines were killed by being run over by the attacking Japanese tanks. A favorite tourist stop is the Japanese tank that remains near the airfield. But just behind White Beach 2 are 3 more Japanese tanks used in the counterattack. Just recently, Japanese officials searched the area and inside these tanks for human remains. South of the promontory are Orange Beach 1, 2, and 3. The 5th Marine Regiment would land on Orange Beach 1 and 2. The 7th Marine Regiment would land on Orange Beach 3. Like on the White Beaches, the 5th and 7th Marines would face barbed wire, mines, tank traps, and other obstacles that would slow the Marines from getting off these beaches. The 5th Marines would actually gain ground and move inland, cutting across the southern edge of the airfield and making their way to the opposite shoreline. The 7th Marines would face strong Japanese resistance to the south. Orange Beach as it is today. Moving inland on Orange Beach 2. Marine Eugene Sledge would land here on Orange Beach 2. He would document his battle in the book With the Old Breed. The first cemetery on the island was just behind Orange Beach 2. This is the site chosen on D+1 since it was the only area fully under the control of the Marines and they needed to bury their dead as soon as possible. All the bodies were removed in 1947 and repatriated back to the United States based on the next of kin's wishes. Today, the site has a few monuments dedicated to the Marines and the U.S. Army 81st Infantry Division. The remains of the chapel are also still visible. A short distance away, there's a wrecked Japanese Zero aircraft. Like and subscribe to our YouTube page, SFR Productions, so you don't miss our next episode as we continue our tour of the Peleliu Battlefield.